We breathe in, we breathe in,
Jeremy.
we breathe in.
The respiratory system, it's necessary for life. You can't function too well unless you're breathing right. You shouldn't damage your lungs. For example, don't smoke. Y'all better listen here if you think this a joke. The respiratory system moves air through the nose and the pharynx, also through the trachea, the bronchus, and the larynx. So much goes on in your body, so much more than you think. Stay healthy, cause if you ain't breathing, that must stink. Air moves to the alveoli where the gas exchange will happen. Oxygen and carbon dioxide switch, which you should know, that's why I'm rapping. Your nose has cilia, mucus, and blood capillaries. Air we breathe is warmed by blood, isn't that thought scary? Yeah, respiratory system.
Thank you. Groundbreaking news. This just in, Oliver Clozoff died a terrible death just this weekend. He seemed to be losing the battle with lung cancer. Oliver leaves behind 2 daughters, a wife, and a girlfriend. In other news, Pat McCrotch passed away this morning of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. The irritation of his lungs could have been prevented by a healthy diet, regular exercise, and less cigarettes. In other news, I, Mike Ock, am not of the smoking kind. Hugh Jass died from chronic bronchitis. The air passages became clogged with mucus, and this leads to a persistent cough. Chronic bronchitis is usually associated with cigarette smoking. Mike Hunt died from emphysema, the release of proteolytic enzymes as part of the inflammatory process that follows irritation of the lungs. Most people avoid this kind of damage during infections, etc., by producing an enzyme inhibitor, a serpin called alpha-1 antitrypsin. Those rare people who inherit the 2 defective genes for alpha-1 antitrypsin are particularly susceptible to developing emphysema. Thank you, and good night.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, yeah. Running along and you feel a sharp pain, you gotta stop and catch your breath. Your composure you will gain. You notice you're breathing hard, breathing in, breathing out. That's what we call the involuntary gain. Now say you're cruising down the river in a motorized boat. You fall out and sink cause you can't seem to float. Hold your breath all up in your throat. That's voluntary breathing, it's a bit more remote. An important muscle is the diaphragm. You need it for breathing like Mary needs her lamb. It separates your abdomen and your thorax. My favorite Pokemon's name is Snorlax. When you breathe out, your diaphragm bends. And when you breathe in, the bending ends. Breathing changes air pressure, gradients. Hey Miss Conlon, your looks are looking radiant. Shoot, I meant your lungs are looking radiant. Breathe slow, breathe in, breathe out. Yeah, respiratory system.